Hoyoverse just sued this guy for $50,000. But here's the thing, I'm surprised this even took this long. Let me explain. Hoyoverse has an iron fist online. Now, I've had this issue in the back of my mind for a long time, but didn't really pay no attention to it, as I was pretty sure that the next week I'll wake up with the exact heading on the screen. Only it took 2 years to get to this point. Before we get into the full story, we have to understand one thing here. Hoyoverse is very similar to Nintendo. They honestly don't accept anyone messing around online with their IPs or anything related to their assets. And I'm not even talking about anything major over here. Here's a bit of BMO backstory for you guys. If you guys keep your ears open during the videos, I tend to use many video game tracks in a lot of the videos I make. And if you were to go way back in the past of the channel, I actually used to use Genshin tracks as well. But Hoyoverse copyright struck a lot of channels using music tracks. Pretty much anything they didn't like. Not a copyright claim, a copyright strike. If you get just 3 of those, your channel gets Thanos snapped out of existence. So yeah, it's dangerous stuff to be messing with. You definitely do not want to go on Hoyoverse's bad side. A quick note for everyone, I believe some of the channels that were taken down were uploading the full music tracks, similar to how you find other video game soundtracks online, which usually isn't an issue, but Hoyoverse was not having any of it. And maybe some other channels were talking about leaks and such. But the rule still remains, the Hoyoverse likes to control the online space as much as it can. If they don't want something to happen, they will make sure it doesn't. While we are talking about copyright strikes, it's not just music. If you talk about leaks, Hoyoverse will come down on you like an axe. And I've personally felt this as I at one time showed some footage of some deer leaks, and this is way back in the day and actually crippled my channel's progress. So that's why I do not talk about anything related to leaks or anything that's not been officially covered. Hoyoverse has a strong hand in the online space, whether it be creator contracts or removing content they're not happy about. And as they should, as it's technically their IPs and it's their data, hence why I stay away from leaks with a 10-foot pole. With all this being said, it honestly makes me ask the question, why did it take so long for Hoyoverse to take action on this topic? Especially when Hoyoverse said themselves, and I quote, "Cheats are damaging to the company's reputation as well as its finances," saying that they have invested a lot of money in trying to stop these cheats, locate the cheaters, and ban them. Hoyoverse stated that these help rapidly progress through the game, and the other cheat softwares were rapidly decreasing the likelihood of players making in-game purchases. The funny thing is, these cheats that they're talking about aren't even free. You can't just Google Genshin cheats and just download them and throw them into the game. No, the cheat software called Akabi JC is not free. You have to actually subscribe to these servers, and it's not cheap either. If you want to use these cheats for just 7 days, it's going to set you back a whole $8. I make it sound like a lot of money, but that's a lot of money to me, okay? Or, hear me out, $19.99. Man, times have changed where you gotta pay for cheat software. I mean, I think it was like this back in the day, but $19 is steep for just 1 month of cheats. So these guys are kind of taking money indirectly from Hoyoverse and making a whole business out of it. They're kind of smart, but obviously not a good thing. Like I said, if I gotta pay for cheats, I'll pass. And honestly, cheats are even fun. Back when I was a kid, I used to have fun pulling cheats in video games, and now I think all of us kind of agree that it's only fun the first time you do it, and then it kind of kills the game. So it begs the question, who are the people actually using this cheat software? Well, I can think of one. Have you ever seen those online services that say they will 100% the game for you if you pay them a very small fee? I would imagine it's these guys. You know, the people who sell you the 100% map or getting all the chests around Teyvat. My bet is that they're using this software to get the cheats for you. And I don't think that would necessarily put your account at risk. I'm not trying to scare you. It's more like the people in charge of the cheat are getting the axe on them. So don't be scared if you've ever used any of these services in the past. I'm sure your account will be safe. Anyways, as we're talking about cheats, let's talk about what are some of the advantages that these people are so scared of. This is taken directly from the article I found this out about. And I quote, "Attack modifications, no attack cooldown, unlimited stamina, teleportation, and invincibility." So quite a lot of stuff here. Will definitely make the game fairly easy. What's the point of C6ing all the characters when you could just turn on invincibility and no attack cooldown? Also, when I tried to find out more information about the cheat, it seems the GitHub page has been taken down, so I can't even read more about it online. I'm probably sure I can find something digging about, but usually I use GitHub to just directly find all the information I need. If it's not here, then there's not really much point digging anywhere because you won't have access to it anymore. I believe all this was talking about one cheat system in particular, but apparently there were 2 more, meaning there was 3 cheat softwares being circulated on the internet. The funny part is, I'm pretty sure the other 2 cheat softwares were actually free. Now, I won't mention them as I don't want to keep spreading awareness to Genshin cheats, as it's not a good thing. Yeah, don't do it. I had no idea the cheat industry behind the scenes were thriving so much. So remember that big number, $50,000? Well, that's how much they're demanding for damages on the company. Yeah, it's a lot of money. Did they really lose out on 50k worth of Primo Gems? Well, the funny thing is, I'm pretty sure 50k will not get you all of the characters C6 and weapon refinements and everything in the game. Yes, Genshin can really become expensive if you let it. So, the Genshin Impact cheater Jacqueline Sorin and a few others were sued by Hoyoverse and Cognosphere. Wait, what is Cognosphere? Well, I looked into it. Apparently it's a proxy publishing label. I love how the billion-dollar company just got lazy and slapped Cognosphere where the Hoyoverse was in the original logo. Good job, guys. They spent too much money trying to find these cheaters. They had to skimp out on the graphic design. Now, back to their lawsuit. They were technically getting sued for infringing their copyright material to create these cheating tools. Hoyoverse said it sent a cease and desist letter to Sorino. He responded saying that he will take down the copyrighted material, and clearly he didn't, otherwise I wouldn't be yapping about this today, guys. Like I said, Hoyoverse makes the claims that they didn't actually take down the software. This is where the actual lawsuit came in. And this lawsuit really reveals some interesting information. Now, Hoyoverse said it spent 100 million on the initial development cost of Genshin, plus 200 million more on updates. This makes Genshin Impact one of the most expensive games ever developed. Interestingly enough, in one of the comments in the article, it actually said that was 200 annually for updates. Now, I need to look into the details of that one, but that would put it into well above 700 million. So definitely one of the most expensive games ever developed. I may look into it and make a video on it, so stay posted. Because if that claim is true, oh boy, we've all been underestimating Genshin. So remember that little company I mentioned earlier, Nintendo? Well, there's a reason why. Back in the 90s, Nintendo released a console called the NES, the Nintendo Entertainment System. This was released in the mid to late 80s, or a long time ago. Way back in the day, before we had digital downloads, before we had CDs, we had cartridges a long time ago. Now this was definitely before my time. Back to the NES. A device was made called the Game Genie, which was one of the first cheap devices back in the day. And the cool thing is, you would plug this device into the console and then plug your game into the Game Genie, which then communicates the game to the console. So the Game Genie acted as a middleman of sorts between the game and the console, like I just stated. The Game Genie would find and replace values in the game. For example, how many lives you have left. And then if the player was to die, it could then replace the value with a higher number, so the player always has extra lives. Nintendo was not happy about this. They sued the company behind the Game Genie for copyright infringement, just like the Hoyoverse situation. But do you know who won? Surprisingly, it's not Nintendo. Yes, they lost. Game Genie beat the million-dollar company and was allowed to exist to keep cheating in games. Crazy, I know. And what's even more crazy is why. Technically, the Game Genie didn't change or duplicate anything from the original game in any concrete or permanent way. But here's the part that blows my mind. The court made arguments about the importance about allowing freedom to innovate. They compared the Game Genie to the innovation of spell checkers used in word processing applications at the time. And I quote, the court warned, might chill innovation and fail to protect society's interest in the free flow of ideas, information, and commerce. Crazy how, back in the day, they defended cheat systems for the use of innovation and freedom. Crazy how times have changed. So does this mean that these guys have a chance to beat Hoyoverse in this lawsuit? No way. That's actually crazy. One thing on this topic that I'm honestly quite surprised about is that I've seen more information online about Genshin modders than I've seen about cheaters up until now. And I had no idea that cheats were basically thriving behind the scenes with people having whole businesses set up around them. I don't know how they had this whole covert operation without Hoyoverse bringing the axe down so much sooner than they did. Hoyoverse is already having a whole FBI, CIA investigation behind the scenes to making sure the public doesn't hear and freak out about the whole mess. Probably why they said they spent so much money on this case. You see videos pop up of Genshin mods all of the time, but when do you see videos showcasing Genshin cheats? Pretty much never, and definitely not now. Now this links back to something very specific that I'm working on at the moment, and I actually need your genuine advice here, guys. I'm working on a big video where I'm currently modding Genshin Impact characters into another game. It's currently a work in progress, but I know if it comes out, it will be an amazing video. Here's the thing, I'm very hesitant to release this. I don't know if Hoyoverse will attempt to axe my channel like it did a few years ago. Now, I don't know the legality of using Genshin models in another game. Please give me some advice in the comments. Do you guys want to see this video? And now the final point to mention on this video is that for those who have not been keeping up to date on the Genshin boycott, yes, there's a boycott going on for those of you who are not aware, I highly recommend you to watch this video, as many large Genshin content creators are really trying to sweep this under the rug, as they've already got their views out of the drama and really don't seem to have any intention of bettering the situation. Now, at the end of the day, you guys are the ones who matter most, as you guys fund content creators and the game itself. So I do believe Genshin content creators should do more to help out. So check this video out and let me know what you think of the situation.